foreclosures over 3 years with $10 million. I'd like to know how they could do that. Did Columbus, Ohio waste $23 million? Now, I'm a former mayor, and I will tell you that the worst thing for any neighborhood in my city was to have closed down homes or businesses, boarded up. Because it wasn't just bad for that one property, it reduced the property values and it reduced the business value of every business within a given range, depending on the neighborhood. Sometimes a block, sometimes much further than that. And everybody here knows that. I'm not going to argue one iota against tightening up the program or seeing whether the priorities are right. I think those are good things. I think we should do it. And I'm not going to argue against the gentleman from California's proposal. I just want to see any proposal. This is now the third, and we're about to do the fourth bill in a week to close down different programs to help people who are losing or have lost their homes or businesses. And I haven't yet seen one proposal to replace them with anything. Nothing. Come forward with proposals. We'll work with you. I understand you won an election. I have to give more than I get. I get that. But something versus nothing is not a real difficult choice to me. And I'll tell you that this particular program, it just amazes me to sit here and say, well, we all have to put, every program we have is now going to be about the deficit. Well, if that's the case, we better put everything on the table. I don't mind that, but let's put the Defense Department on the table. Let's talk about our cotton farmers in Brazil. Every single program can be had about that. The question is whether you're going to terminate these programs. 4 programs in the last week that are on the table that help homeowners, that help neighborhoods. That doesn't mean every single penny was perfectly wisely spent or that there couldn't be other priorities. You want to talk about how we're going to help seniors? Then why did we close down Section 202 housing, senior housing, in the budget debate? Why did we close down veterans housing last year? You want to talk about helping kids? Why are we closing down the WIC program to help pregnant and nursing mothers? I'm not against any of those things, and I understand that difficult priorities have to be made. As a former mayor, the first 2 years I had to make cuts, tough choices. Did every one of them. I'm not against that. What I am against is saying foreclosures are not a problem, you're on your own, too bad. Yeah, I'm against that. Let's come up with a proposal or a program that we can work together on to help these people and these communities. If you don't like this one, and I'm not going to say I love it, but something is better than nothing. And all I see at the moment is nothing. They're on their own. I don't understand how anybody who could be a county official or a former municipal official could sit here and say that the federal government is always a better position to say what the community should do. I happen to think that some federal money into local decision-making is a good thing. I know when I was mayor, I wouldn't want the federal government telling me how to spend every dollar. I voted against proposals to have the federal government get into education for that very same reason.
Will the gentleman from Massachusetts...
Sure, I'll yield for a minute.
And to your point, and I'm trying to remember, my view of the world is Maricopa County. There wasn't a shortage of private capital to buy these properties. Maybe there is in Massachusetts. But in our area, the crowding out was actually coming from government money.
Well, in reclaiming my time, it's awfully... So if that's the case, how could you have 150,000 foreclosures? That's amazing to me. And if you have, that's fine. Maricopa County may not be the place that needs it, but apparently they think they do, and apparently they took $10 million to do it. And I understand that not everybody in Maricopa County would do it, and even when I was mayor, surprisingly enough, not everybody in my city loved me or agreed with everything I did. So I understand that, but they did it, and apparently there's a disagreement of opinion in Maricopa County and every place else. And maybe that's not the place that the stand should be made. Maybe they shouldn't get a nickel, but there are other places in this country that should. And all I'm saying is, if you don't like this program, either fix it or propose something else to do something similar, or say the truth, which is apparently you don't think that this is a problem, and that foreclosures, you're on your own. And if that's the case, just say it, and we can have that disagreement. But at least it's honest. I don't think it's honest to say, I think this is a problem, but I'm not going to do anything about it. My time is up, so I'm happy to yield you all the time I have.
I'm going to learn that gimmick one day.
Well, I don't have red light.
Is further discussion on the amendment? Gentleman from Texas, Mr. Hensling, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.